Welcome to Mathematics Educators Workshop at Home. As we conclude the introduction of trigonometry to the grade 11s, today we focus on problems based on angles at standard position. The first question we encounter here reads as follows. Calculate the values of trigonometric functions of x if the terminal arm of angle x in standard position it passes through the given point. Draw a sketch for each case and leave your answer in SAT form. So, the given point is -1 and 1. What we are going to do in this case, we first plot the point on the Cartesian plane and draw the terminal arm through the point, as the instructions state. So let's plot the point in the Cartesian plane. So you draw a small Cartesian plane like that, and then we plot the point. The point is -1 and 1. Therefore, our terminal arm goes through the point from the vertex at the origin. So this is basically the angle we are dealing with. However, we are going to focus on the acute angle that is giving the same position of the terminal arm to the same angle that is given. Now, what we then do, we drop a perpendicular at the top of that point and we complete a right angle triangle. From here, we can now calculate the length of the terminal, OP. So we simply apply Pythagoras. We say OP squared is equals to x squared plus y squared. Now, OP, remember we said that terminal, it is also called the radius. So that is r squared is equals to -1 squared plus 1 squared. So this is -1 squared is 1 plus 1 squared is 1. So the answer here is 2. Therefore, the radius is square root of 2. So the length of r here is square root of 2. And now that we have completed the angle at standard position, we can now solve the given trigonometric ratios. The first one, they say we must calculate cos x. So the ratio of cos x is equals to x over r. That is -1 over the square root of 2. X is -1 and r is square root of 2. So that will be the ratio. The second ratio is tan x is equals to, the ratio of tan is y over x. So that is 1 over -1. That is equals to -1. And the last question, question number 3, they say sec x over cos x. Now, sec x, that is the reciprocal of cos. So that is 1 over cos x divided by cos x. So this is the same as having 1 over cos x multiplied by 1 over cos x. Now this gives us 1 over cos squared x. Now, what is 1 over cos squared x? 1 over cos squared x is the same as sec squared x, because that is the reciprocal of cos. Now, what is the ratio of reciprocal of cos? It is r over x. So that is, this is equals to the square root of 2 divided by -1. Therefore, the answer is negative square root of 2. So this is the final answer. Now, let's go and look at question number 2. If 5 sine x plus 3 is equals to 0 and tan x is less than 0, evaluate the following. Now, let us look at that information. 5 sine x plus 3 is equals to 0. And we are also told that tan x is less than 0. Now, what we can start by doing is identifying the quadrant in which the terminal arm of angle x lie. I'm going to start with this information, which says tan x is less than 0. So in which quadrant is tan x negative? We know that tan x is negative in quadrant number 4 and quadrant number 2, because what we know is that in the first quadrant, all the trig ratios, they are positive, and tan is also positive in the third quadrant. Only in the fourth quadrant and the second quadrant, tan is negative. That means our terminal arm of angle x is either lying in the quadrant number 2 or quadrant number 4. So how can we ensure that it is in quadrant number 2 or quadrant number 4? The other information that is given is 5 sin x plus 3 is equal to 0. So let us get the trig ratio of sin x from this. So we make sin x the subject. This equation becomes sin x is equals to negative 3 over 5. But we know the ratio of sine says y over r. So that means the value of y is negative 3 and the value of r is 5. Then we can represent this information in the quadrant. Now, in which quadrant is y negative between quadrant 2 and 4? Y is negative in quadrant number 4. So I'm going to represent that angle in the fourth quadrant. So our terminal arm lies in the fourth quadrant. So our angle opened in anti-clockwise direction like that, and therefore I can complete the right angle triangle. What are the coordinates of this point? The coordinate of that point is x and negative 3. I only know the value of x. I don't know what is the value of, so I only know the value of r. I don't know the value of x. The value of y is negative 3 and the value of r is 5. So the value of the radius is 5. Therefore, we use Pythagoras to determine the value of x. You simply say r squared is equals to x squared plus y squared. Now r is 5 squared, x is unknown, and y is negative 3 squared. And therefore this is x squared is equals to 25 minus 9, that is 16. So x is equals to plus or minus the square root of 16, and that gives us 4. Now looking at this quadrant, in quadrant number 4, x is positive. Therefore, x is equals to 4. So the value of x there, it is 4. Now that we've got all the information, we can now be able to evaluate the 3 given questions. Question 1, they say sec squared x. Sec is a reciprocal of cos. So what is the ratio of cos there? It's negative 3 over 5. Therefore, our ratio is negative 5 over 3 squared. Minus tan squared theta. The ratio of tan is y over x. So that is negative 3 over 4. Negative 3 over 4. And therefore, we can now simplify that. So negative 5 over 3 squared, that is 25 over 9, minus this times that, negative times negative 3 over 4, that will give us plus 3 over 4. And then once we have the value of the expression like that, we can now be able to solve the sum. What is the LCD of 9 and 4? That should be 36. So this is 25 over 9 plus 3 over 4. The answer is, this is equals to 127 over 36. So that is the answer for question 1. Now, let's go and look at question 2. So question 2 says, cosec squared x. Cosec is the reciprocal of sine. So let's find what is the ratio of sine. The ratio of sine is what is given, is -3/5. Therefore, for cosec, that will be -5/3 squared minus cot squared x. Now, cot is the reciprocal of tan. What is the ratio of tan? The ratio of tan is -3/4. Therefore, this will be -4/3 squared. And then we can find the answer. That will be 25/9 minus 16/9. Now, this is the denominator is the same. So that is 25 minus 16. That is 9/9. And the answer is 1. So this is the final answer for question number 2. Let us then look at question number 3. Question number 3, they say we must evaluate tan x times cot x. Now what we know is that tan x and cot x are reciprocals of each other. So this is tan x multiplied by 1/tan x. Now, what is tan x times 1/tan x? This and that give us 1, therefore the answer is 1. So this is the final answer that we get from there. So this is how we should wrap up the introduction of trigonometry with grade 11. Let us look at the last question, which involves variables. Let us look at question 3. It reads as follows. If sine q is equals to -t/2 and angle q is the element of 180 degrees and 270 degrees, determine the value of cos q, tan q over sine q, 1 minus sec squared q. So the approach is the same. We've got to draw the angle q at standard position. So from the following information here, we can see that angle q is the element of 180 to 270. So in that case, angle q is an angle in the third quadrant, because this is 180 degrees and 270 degrees. So they say angle q is the element of this quadrant. So that means the terminal arm open all the way to that position there. Now, we are also told that sine of angle q is equals to -t/2. So as we complete our right angle triangle, the coordinate of this point there is x and -t. We don't know the value of x, but we know the value of r is 2. And therefore we can use Pythagoras to calculate the length of the value of x. So this is r squared is equals to x squared plus y squared, and therefore r is 2 squared. We are missing x plus -t squared. So this gives us 4. Then that will give us, so that is x squared plus t squared. Therefore x squared is equals to 4 minus t squared, and therefore we take the square root both sides. X is equals to the square root of plus or minus the square root of 4 minus t squared. Now that is our answer. Now remember, we need to find one value of x. We've got two values there, plus or minus the square root of 4 minus t squared. What we then need to do is we need to look at the quadrant in which x is. It is in the second quadrant, therefore x is negative there. So the value of x will be x is equals to negative the square root of 4 minus t squared. Now before we go any further, let us also look at a common error that is done by learners around this. When learners get a solution like this, which says x is equals to plus or minus the square root of 4 minus t squared, they have a tendency of expressing this as plus or minus 2 minus t, meaning they took the square root of 4 and the square root of t squared. Please work with them and try to ensure that they understand that they cannot do this. We're taking the square root of an expression here. It is not a square root of a term. So we cannot take the square root of 4 separately and the square root of t squared separately. If they insist, one way I always convince them, say t is equals to 3. Give it a particular number. Now, if you say t is equal to 3, you go and plug 3 here and find what is x. So this will be 2 minus 3, and the answer is -1. And also, go and put it in the expression up there. So you're going to say x is equals to the square root of 4 minus 3 squared. Now this gives us the square root of 3 squared is 9. 4 minus 9 is 5. So we've got x is equal to square root of 5, or x is equal to -1. So this is not true. So find a way to make them understand that they cannot find the square root of an expression like that. One other expression that I know that we dealt with, coming from the quadratic formula, we have negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Learners, when we were completing the square to develop this formula, they started writing that the square root of b squared minus 4ac is b minus 2 square root of ac. And I proved them by simply replacing, give the variable ABC some numbers and put them in the equation and see if what they're saying it is true. I know they will be proved otherwise. Now that we know the value of x is negative square root of 4 minus t squared, I'm going to place this value in there. Now, we then found the value of x to be negative square root of 4 minus t squared. So they are represented there. Now we can be able to determine the value of cos q. So you simply write the solutions. So cos q is equal to x over r. So our x here is negative square root of 4 minus t squared all over 2. So that will be the value of cos q. Now b we've got tan of angle q over sine of angle q. So this is the same as having sine q over cos q multiplied by 1 over sine q. Now this divided by that is 1. We are left with 1 over cos q. Now 1 over cos q, this is the reciprocal of cos, which is sec of angle q. Now we simply go and find the answer. What is cos q? Cos of angle q will then be negative square root of 4 minus t squared over 2. Then its reciprocal will then be negative 2 over the square root of 4 minus t squared. So that will be the final answer. Question C says 1 minus sec squared q. So this is 1 minus sec squared q. So sec q is negative 2 over square root of 4 minus t. So it was calculated here. So this will be this negative 2 over the square root of 4 minus t squared. Now it is squared. So this will be 1 minus this bracket square. This gives us 4 over 4 minus t squared. Now this will simply simplify to 4 minus t squared minus 4 all over 4 minus t squared. Now this and that is 0. We are left with negative t squared over 4 minus t squared. And this is the final answer.